So,
be aware about that.
Nourou Dine, I see, like I told you,
Yeah.
I had a stroke about nearly now. Oh, this month 11 years ago. Okay, it will be
Oh,
11 years in a few less than 2 weeks. Okay,
okay.
now since then I've heard about so many young people of African descent, both here, and I have some stroke survivors who I mentor. I'm taking them through the hurdles, you know. Uh, so I also see a lot of stroke survivors in Africa, but I noticed that we in Africa, especially Nigeria, my home country, so many young people suddenly fall and die. Okay. Now, that can be heart failure, but I think many of them might be a stroke. Okay. So that's why it's important, because I know how difficult it is to uh, survive a stroke and then regain your functions. Okay. Now, for me, I struggled to speak for 4 years. Even now, as I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
I'm gauging the words I use, because there are still a lot of words I can't pronounce. Okay. A lot of words I can't even use.
Yeah.
Okay. Because my tongue can't, you know.
Yeah. I
So
understand. Yeah. You
so
have
so
some
I want you
articulation.
I want you to tell my audience a little bit more about a stroke, the symptoms, the effects, the rehabilitation, and other things about it, because I think it's something uh, maybe prevalent in our society more than it should. Okay, and maybe also tell them some things they can do or to help them avoid having a stroke.
Okay. Um, Thank you very much. As you say, nowadays as well, a young people also fall for stroke.
Yeah.
It is no more a disease of old adult
Yeah.
and population, and we should be aware about the stroke, because that's what I want to tell you is that nowadays, and a lot of study has been done. If you go to the literature, the scientific literature, of course, the global disease reported lastly in 2019, something like you know uh, 12.2 million incident case of stroke globally.
Wow. In a
And the
year.
yeah, and
Wow.
101 million prevalent case of stroke, within the last decade, the two last decades, sorry, the prevalence was more than 101 million, prevalent
Yeah.
around the world. And the stroke was also the third leading, the level 3 cause of death and disability.
Yeah. Me,
You know,
I'm still.
yeah,
I can't see. You can see. I don't use my right hand. People don't know
yeah,
that, but you know.
exactly. And that is a disaster.
Yeah.
So we might remain that stroke remain the second largest cause, okay, of the death nowadays. So we should be aware about that and to prevent that. Sometimes maybe we could not prevent that in the case that it is a hemorrhagic stroke, because sometimes hemorrhagic stroke sometimes revealed some problem in the brain, like because sometimes you can have aneurysm, you don't know, you know it's congenital, you don't know, okay? Maybe some factor can allow us to have that, maybe family story, maybe some malformation, of Ehlers-Danlos malformation, some malformation can lead them to have a pathology of our arteries. Then we might be most affected by this disease. So and also sometimes some tumors in the brain sometimes could bleed in the brain and mimicking a stroke, a stroke. So we might do a CT scan in this case. And so when you have like a dizziness, a headache, or I don't know, you have suddenly your any body who could not move, you cannot talk, you feel yourself not good. At the first hour, at the first moment that you feel that, you should not waste your time and searching about what's going on around me. No, please go immediately to hospital. Nowadays, I will talk about the centers because in Africa we are so, we are not in this step yet, and that is my fight, that is my dream one day, to be able, when someone does stroke in my country, like Benin Republic, in your home country, Nigeria, these people can be saved. Because the most important thing that we should be aware about it is that the handicap will cost more than the treatment. Because because if you treat, you will have someone with a very less disability or no disability. You will. So I think nowadays it's important to to do a large awareness, in the population in our home country in Africa, that the stroke is not just about old people, it's also about young people, and everyone who do that, don't waste your time, go to the hospital immediately, because within the 4 hours to the beginning of the signs of stroke, you can be saved by thrombolysis. And if you have if you have a chance and you are in the good center, if the thrombolysis don't work, you can do also a thrombectomy. If you see on my background of my video, you will see some some stent with clot inside. That is a stent who retrieve a clot inside the vessel
in the brain,
in the brain. That's to recanalize the artery who was obstructed. And if the artery is obstructed, the brain did not receive the blood as the flow that he wants. So you're gonna have a stroke. So that is our acute ischemic stroke. But when you have hemorrhagic stroke, it is depend also about the age, the volume of the hematoma and the brain, why he bleed, the malformation, who bleed, vascular malformation, or many etiologies should be done. Maybe sometimes it's about the angiopathy, amyloid angiopathy, because sometimes genetically we can have these amyloid problems, but nobody knows, so you can have also a stroke. And the most factor risk about that, it is the high blood pressure. The high blood pressure nowadays, it is a disaster, whenever for the young population of the old population. Nowadays you can have just I don't know 35 years.
So
you have
what are the causes of high blood pressure? It is
an hypertension, arterial hypertension. So it is. I know I'm not cardiologist, but it is a big problem that we have now. Everyone is can be first of that. So we should pay attention about what we are eating.
Yeah.
So salty, so spicy, so how can I say that? All this food, fast food, all these things, a lot of gases, materials, oil, all these is concurred, to concur to dyslipidemia. And dyslipidemia, it is one of the risk factor that cause a stroke, obesity, unhealthy activity.
Yeah.
So it's very important to know that um, we have to pay attention about what we are eating, what we are doing. And stroke, it's not just about all people, it is about
and anyone can
and
have
it can
one.
be ischemic, it can be hemorrhagic.
Yeah. Wow.